Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans across the world, this is not a drill. What just went down on Monday Night Raw has shaken the wrestling universe to its very core. Rey Mysterio, the legendary Lucha icon, the ultimate underdog, the proud father, has done the unthinkable. Tonight, he destroyed his own son, Dominik Mysterio, with a 619 that might just go down in WWE history as the most shocking act of betrayal and redemption we've ever seen. You heard that right. Rey Mysterio didn't just fight his son. He ended him in front of the entire WWE Universe. But the question everyone's asking right now? Why? What drove a loving father to finally snap and unleash years of bottled-up fury on his own blood? And before you start typing in the comments saying, Wrestle Scope, it's just storyline, no, this moment hit different. This wasn't just a scripted feud, this was personal. You could see it in Rey's eyes, the heartbreak, the rage, the betrayal. And when that 619 connected, it wasn't just Dominik hitting the mat, it was the Mysterio family legacy exploding right in front of our eyes. Hello viewers, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. Fans are outraged. The internet is split. Half of the WWE Universe is screaming Rey went too far. The other half, they're saying it's about time that Dominik got what he deserved. But here's the real twist. Was this all part of a bigger plan? Did Dominik push his father too far? Or did Rey just reveal a darker side we never knew existed? The chaos unfolds. Let's rewind and break this down step by step, because if you missed Raw tonight, you missed one of the most emotional, shocking, and downright uncomfortable segments WWE has produced all year. It all started backstage, where Dominik, fresh off another arrogant promo with the Judgment Day, was seen mocking his father. He called him a coward, a washed-up legend who couldn't let go of the spotlight. He laughed, he taunted, and then he said the one line that set the internet on fire. You were never a father. You were just a stepping stone. That line, those words broke Rey Mysterio in half. For months, maybe years, we've watched Rey try to hold back. He refused to fight his son. He said he'd never raise a hand against family. But tonight, all that restraint, all that love, all that pain exploded. Dominik stormed the ring mid-segment during Rey's emotional speech about family and legacy, and the crowd knew something was about to happen. You could feel it in the air, the tension, the disgust, the heartbreak. Dominik got right in his father's face, calling him a coward again. He slapped him, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And that's when Rey snapped. Rey's hand shot up. He hesitated for a split second, then boom. Right hook. The crowd gasped. The arena erupted. And before anyone could process it, Rey hit the ropes, swung around, and delivered the most perfectly timed, emotionally charged 619 we've seen in years, right across the face of his own son. The crowd reaction. The crowd went insane. I'm talking goosebumps, people crying, others chanting "You deserve it" at Dominik. And for the first time in months, maybe even years, Rey Mysterio stood tall in that ring, but not as a hero, not as a father, as a man who had finally had enough. You could see the emotion. Rey didn't celebrate. He didn't pose. He didn't smile. He just stared down at his son, shaking his head in disbelief, as if even he couldn't believe what he had just done. Dominik rolled out of the ring, clutching his jaw, tears in his eyes, completely broken, not physically, but emotionally. The Judgment Day rushed out to check on him, glaring daggers at Rey as the crowd chanted, "You still got it," mixed with, "That's your son." And that's what makes this so powerful, because this wasn't just about father versus son. This was about respect, about legacy, about what happens when love turns to hate and hate turns to hatred. How we got here. To understand just how heavy this moment was, we've got to rewind the clock, because this feud, this explosion, didn't start tonight. It's been years in the making. We all remember when Dominik first joined the Judgment Day. He turned his back on Rey, joined forces with Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, a move that shocked fans but also defined him. At the time, fans said it was the best thing for Dominik's career. He finally found his voice. He became the dirty Dom we all love to hate. But what most fans didn't see was the toll it took on Rey. Every week, we saw Rey Mysterio's heart breaking piece by piece. The man who carried the mask, who built his legacy on family and respect, was being humiliated by his own flesh and blood, publicly. Dominik mocked him, he embarrassed him, he even dragged Rey's wife and daughter into the storyline, crossing every emotional line possible. And Rey, he just took it. He refused to fight back. He said, and I quote, "A father doesn't fight his son." But WWE fans know better. Everyone has a breaking point, and tonight on Raw, Rey Mysterio's breaking point was reached. The Judgment Day pushed him too far. Dominik pushed him too far. And that 619, that wasn't an act of aggression. It was a declaration, a message that said, enough is enough. The aftermath was immediate backstage. Cameras caught Dominik being helped to the medical area, with Rhea Ripley screaming for officials to suspend Rey. Finn and Damian were furious, claiming Rey had crossed the line. But here's the crazy part. WWE officials didn't intervene. They didn't fine him. They didn't suspend him. They just let him walk. And that's when the whisper started. Is WWE setting up one of the most emotional, personal matches in WrestleMania history? Rey versus Dominik? One more time? Sources backstage are saying this could be Rey's final in-ring program before retirement. If that's true, then this 619 wasn't just a shocking act. It was the beginning of the end. The father who refused to fight finally made peace with the fact that sometimes you have to destroy what you love most to rebuild your legacy. Fan outrage and online reaction. The internet exploded within minutes. Hashtag Rey snaps and hashtag father versus son started trending worldwide. Twitter, or should I say X, was a battlefield. One fan tweeted, "This is why Rey Mysterio is the GOAT. He finally put that punk in his place." Another wrote, "I can't believe WWE allowed this. A father hitting his son on live TV? Unreal." And on Instagram, Dominik's comments were flooded with snake emojis, while Rey's post got flooded with "Thank you, Rey" messages. But here's where things get really spicy. Rhea Ripley posted a cryptic story. "You think this is over? You just started a war you can't win." That post alone sent fans into a frenzy. Could this mean the Judgment Day is about to retaliate? Could we see an all-out assault on Rey next week on Raw? Or is Rey about to find unlikely allies who have also been wronged by the Judgment Day? Imagine this, Rey teaming up with Jey Uso or even Sami Zayn to take them down once and for all. The possibilities are endless, and the stakes are higher than ever. Emotional analysis. Let's get real for a second. What makes this story so damn powerful is that it's rooted in something real, family. Every parent watching Raw tonight felt that moment. Every son who's ever rebelled against their parents felt it too. This isn't just a wrestling storyline anymore. This is art imitating life. Rey Mysterio has always been the embodiment of honor and respect. He's the man who taught generations of fans to never give up, to fight with heart, to love your family. But even the purest souls can reach a point where they break. And in that split second where Rey hit the ropes and connected with the 619, you could feel decades of emotion pour out of him. The anger, the pain, the guilt, all of it. This was more than a father disciplining his son. It was a father reclaiming his identity. It was Rey saying, "I am not your stepping stone. I am your father, and I will remind you who I am." That's what makes this moment legendary. It's storytelling perfection, and it reminds us why WWE, at its best, can hit you right in the heart. Where does this go next? So where does this go from here? Will Rey and Dominik ever reconcile? Or has this feud crossed the point of no return? One theory floating around backstage is that this will lead to a mask versus blood match. Rey's mask on the line against Dominik's future in WWE. Imagine that. Father versus son, legacy versus rebellion, career versus respect. It's poetic, it's brutal, and it's exactly what fans want. Another rumor suggests that the Judgment Day could kick Dominik out after his loss, blaming him for their recent string of failures. That could set up a redemption arc for Dominik, but after tonight, can fans ever look at him the same way?
Because make no mistake, tonight wasn't just Rey's breaking point. It might have been Dominik's rock bottom. Sometimes to find your true identity, you have to lose everything, and that's exactly where Dominik is right now. This story, this feud, it's not just father versus son anymore. It's about what happens when love turns to hate and hate turns to destiny. The twist and foreshadowing. But before we wrap this up, there's something else that caught my attention, something subtle but huge. As Rey was walking up the ramp after hitting the 619, the camera panned close and you could see him whisper something under his breath. Fans on social media slowed the footage down and think that heard Rey say, "Forgive me, hijo, but it's time." What did he mean by time? Time for what? Could this be leading to Rey's retirement? Could that 619 be his final message, a symbolic passing of the torch through violence, not peace? Because that's what makes this so chilling. Rey didn't do this out of hate.